So you're still thinking of me, just like I know you should. I cannot give you everything, you know I wish I could.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the A&J Soccer Show. As always, it's me, Andrew Pipers, and to my right,
John Thompson.
And we have an awesome show, as always, for you guys today. We're going to do a little Premier League recap, talk about some of the games.
Yeah, and then you guys see up here, we got a cool little draft idea for you guys where me and Andrew are going to talk about the first 11 players in the Premier League that we thought are standing out this season. But first, what do you think about the weekend?
Yeah, so the first game, obviously I want to talk about the City-Burnley game. 1-1. We dominated the game, had plenty of chances. De Bruyne played well again, but, we just didn't finish, and it reminded me of last season, which was
Sterling.
Yeah,
Sterling.
I didn't want to say it.
It's back to old Sterling. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably, it's a blunder. We know that his finishing isn't the best, the players on the team, but it happens to the best of us. It just happened to be a very crucial moment in the game where, he puts it away. That's 2-0. No, it's not. It would at least give us a cushion to see if they do score after that. But, I think Danilo had a very good goal.
Ooh, yeah,
that was a
good.
Nice shot from outside the box. I didn't expect it from him, but other than that, I think the performance was solid. It's just as the team that we're becoming to be and the world-class performances that Raheem Sterling's been putting out this year, it was just kind of surprising for him to see him miss that on the 6-yard box.
It was so close. He just had to make contact with it, but it's in the past. Not going to think about it. I think you made a good point about Danilo. We have goal threats from everywhere. That was our left back scoring an amazing curling goal, so I thought that was awesome. Cool little note about that. Maybe not cool, but I know Pep gave the players a break after that game and just sort of gave them 4 days off. He said, go wherever. The players are getting tired. It's tough to play in that system being tired. I just, off the top of your head, do you think that's a good idea to give them a break right now? Or do you think maybe...
No, I think, you got games on the weekend coming up, but I think it is starting to get into the latter parts of the season. I think if your players are, you got to listen to your players, right? If one of your best players, De Bruyne, is talking about how, he's pretty tired in the Burnley game, then you need to obviously rest him. And if you can either do that by, 1, not playing him the next game, or 2, by, giving time off training, so that the guys can rest their legs and come back fully match fit.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision. Also, I like to see that getting rested up. But there were other games this past weekend. Probably the biggest game of the weekend was Liverpool Spurs, and ended up 2-2. Salah had an amazing game. First with a goal in the 3rd minute, in which it was good. But then he scored another goal in the 91st minute, I think. Only he and Messi can score that goal. He was just chopping in and out of everybody's sweet left foot.
That was pretty magical. It was very messy, the way that he... and Spurs has a very nice defense. Let's not forget about that. So for him to do that against one of the better defenses in the league was pretty impressive.
Yeah, 100%. But Spurs was actually being dominated the entire game, and they got the first goal they got back was amazing from Wanyama. It was outside the box, absolute rocket.
Yeah, possible goal of the season right there. The speed if you watch the replay, they slow it down and it still goes 100 miles per hour with the slow-mo replay. I was he hit the crap out of that.
He did. He really did. And then the second one was sort of a dodgy penalty given on Lamela by a Liverpool defender tackled him. People are saying, it would have been a foul outside the box, but other people are saying he went down too easily. I honestly didn't get a chance to really analyze it that much, but knowing Lamela as a player, I know he goes down pretty easily. So I think Liverpool will feel really hard done by that.
Would you have given it?
Oh, I think you have to. I think you can't give the ref a reason to give it.
Right.
Even if it's the slightest of touches, you can always argue there was contact.
Yeah, it was a hard one for Van Dijk. I know from the replay that I saw, it looked like he didn't even know he was coming. He was just going to clear the ball, and with some force, obviously, he wants to clear the ball out of bounds. And it just seems like Lamela snuck up on him. Wrong place, wrong time, kicked him. But that's a very good point. They would call that outside the box. So if anything, it should be called inside the box. So I think it was pretty unlucky for Liverpool to concede that late, but when you got Harry Kane on the spot, he's not going to miss a second time. He did miss a penalty to win the game, but come on, what's the chances Harry Kane?
Yeah, absolutely. Good points all around. But Another big game, a big game for Arsenal fans, not so much for Everton fans, was their 5-1 win over Everton, in which Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang looked like they never left each other. They were playing so well. Aubameyang scores his first goal. Actually, Aaron Ramsey got his first hat-trick ever in that game. So I think the Gooners will be smiling. I don't know.
No, it was definitely an impressive performance. I mean, let's keep in mind that it was against Everton, who don't have the strongest of defenses. But, I mean, it looked like they were full force. I mean, 4-0 in the first half. That's pretty ridiculous. So it scares, me as a City fan when I know that I think we still got to play Arsenal one more time.
I think we have to play them once more.
So some of the other teams also have to watch out for it. But I think it was a pretty solid performance that a lot of guys will be happy about.
Yeah, 100%. And then finally, poor Chelsea gets destroyed by Watford 4-1, and that's off the back of a 3-0 defeat like last week or something to like Swansea. Yeah. So Conte, I think he's trying to get out of there. He doesn't really care anymore. The players don't care anymore. Poor Chelsea. I wish we would have had Matt here, like right now, so we could talk about.
He probably wouldn't want to come on this. It's not a good week for me. Yeah. I think the big turning point. I mean, you get a red card in the first half, and that changes the game. Bakayoko gets sent off, and that changes the whole way that Chelsea is going to have to approach the game. But I mean, if you think about it, Hazard tied the game up in the 81st minute. It was 1-1 in the 81st, and by the end of the game, Watford scored 3 more goals to beat them. So if Chelsea can hold on that long, I mean, that's like just the last 10 minutes you got to hold on.
Right.
So it shows that, Watford really wanted it. Deulofeu
came back,
transferred from Barcelona. He came back and scored his first goal for the club. So I think overall, that's a really convincing win for Watford.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, do you want to explain how we did this draft one more time, and I can grab the keyboard while you do that?
Yeah. So basically, we both have 2 squads. We have a squad each, and they're both in a 4-3-3. And basically, we're gonna pick our starting 11 for who we think is playing the best in the Premier League right now. We've done the draft beforehand, so we weren't overlapping on the players that we picked. But my first pick is, of course, gonna be Mr. Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, what else do I have to say about him? The guy's probably the best player in the Premier League right now. He's really killing it in terms of his impact defensively and attacking wise. I mean, he can do almost anything. When you don't have him on the field, it seems like you're really missing a gap in the team.
Yeah.
Now, for my forward position, I'm going to go with Mo Salah. The guy's scored tons of goals this year for Liverpool. I think he has 20?
Something crazy
20.
Like that. It's absurd.
It's pretty impressive how well he's fit in the Premier League like that. So I'm going to go with him as my striker. On the left-hand side, I think I'm going to go with Mr. Raheem Sterling. And not the best game for me to, after he plays against Burnley, it's not the best time for me to put him in this squad. But I think you still got to keep in perspective that he has scored game winners for us this year. So although he had the chance to win us the game this time, in previous times, he has been worth the money and score those game winners for us. So I think I'm going to put him on the left side. I'm going to go over to the right side, and I think Hazard. I'm going to put Hazard on the right. The Belgian scored a very, very nice goal over the weekend. But also, he's just a very critical player for Chelsea in their campaign right now, and will be very important in seeing them finish in the top 4, also in their Champions League matchup against Barcelona. Going into the midfield, I'm going to go on the left-hand side with Jesse Lingard, who has really impressed me this season. Wasn't the biggest fan of his before, but other than seeing his outdated celebrations, which I admit they're pretty clean, but I wish he would just do them a couple months before when the trends were in style. But regardless, his Miller Rock is kind of nice. So other than him scoring some pretty nice finishes this I think it was over the winter break, he scored some pretty nice goals. Yeah. So I'm going to put him there on the left side. So on the right, I'm going to go with David Silva because you got to put the ball magician in there. The guy has really shown how big of a role he has on the team this year. He's been able to find the pockets. And defensively, a lot of people don't realize the job that he does. I mean, he is a magician on the offensive side, but also defensively, he really puts in a good shift and makes sure that he's pressuring and makes everything fall into place. So my first center back, Nicolas Otamendi. of course. He's just been very good for us this season. His tackling has been very on point, and he's been having to deal with, Stones coming in, Vinny going out, Laporte coming in. So he's been that rock that's just been there the whole time this season. And he didn't have the best game against Liverpool, but other than that, I think he's been pretty consistent this year for the Citizens. Next, my other center back, I'm going to go with Jan Vertonghen for the Spurs. I think he's also the rock of the Spurs defense. The Spurs have a pretty good...
Sorry.
You're good. The Spurs have a pretty good defense this year, and with Kyle Walker leaving, I think he really has to step up and command the defense that much more. So I think in that case, I think he deserves to find himself in my right center back position. For my right back, another Citizen, Kyle Walker. Really, really impressed with the way he's played this year. His pace is, unmatched. He's got to be one of the top 3 fastest guys on our team, up there with Sterling and Sane. But other than that, I think his attacking threat is amazing from an outside back position. The fact that outside midfielder has to be scared about an outside back going forward is something that you always want as a coach. So for my left back, I'm going to go with Nacho Monreal. Now, this guy's bagged a couple goals. I think he's got about 4 or so. He's recently been in some really great form, and you can tell it in his confidence. I was watching him play Everton this weekend, and you can tell he has that swagger about him. It looks like he really wants to attack and help out that Arsenal defense. So that will earn him his spot at left back. And to finish it off, I'm actually going to go with the Burnley goalkeeper, Pope, because Burnley, I believe they're in 7th place right now. You can fact check me on that one. I'm not too sure, but they're usually a bottom half of the table team, and they're doing very, very well this year. So that's all going to come from the goalkeeper position. Keeping out the goals, getting the clean sheets. That's huge in that kind of team. So that's my first 11.
It's a strong side for sure. At the end of this, we'll go back and show you and kind of go through it at the end. And just a quick note, I think we said it, but the way the draft worked is I picked first, and then Jalen picked second and third. So I didn't get the first pick every time. So
snake draft.
Yeah, that's how it worked. But
Let's get to your team.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll let you go over there, but yeah. No, it was a really cool thing to do, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. But anyway, so up at the striker position, I went with the goal machine himself, Harry Kane. He seems like he's just on another planet than everybody else, and he's actually, there's talks about Real Madrid wanting to buy him for $300 million, and anytime this guy is anywhere near the goal, any sniff of goal, he's going to shoot and probably score.
Oh yeah.
So had to pick Harry Kane. And then on the left wing, I had Leroy Sané, because Kane isn't the fastest guy in the world, but I really wanted some pace with Sané on the left. I think he's 22, and he's one of the world's best players right now. He's very left-footed, but he's developed his right foot a little bit, and the speed. This guy might be the fastest guy in the Premier League.
And when he's on, he's got to be the most dangerous throw on the field. When he starts taking players on, you really got to be careful.
Yeah, so you don't want to be on the other side of Sané. And then going over to the right wing position, I picked another really fast player, Sadio Mane. So I've got a little Mane-Sané action going on. And I think Mane had a better season last year at Liverpool, but he's so good that this season is amazing for him as well. He wrecked us. He wrecked City with his left-footed strike. I'm sorry to bring it up, but have to justify why I picked the guy. And he's just so pacey and he's technically pretty good as well. So Mane on the right, and then moving into the midfield, in the middle, my middle center mid, I wanted someone who could sort of hold the ball and be defensive. So I went with Fernandinho. He's done an amazing job for Man City this year. Just sort of sitting in front of the 2 center backs and really stopping the attack from coming onto City, but also being a very good ball distributor. And so I got the Brazilian Fernandinho in the middle. To his right, I've got Paul Pogba. And Pogba, he was At Juventus, he looked amazing because he sort of ran the show. And at United, I was sort of like, oh, he's kind of not doing well. But if you look at Pogba's numbers, I think he's right near De Bruyne with chances created. Right. So he's not as flashy in his game as he was at Juventus. I prefer Juventus Pogba because he's more fun to watch.
Yeah.
But his productivity is still really good. And, I mean, I have to admit, as a City fan, he is one of the best players in the world, especially when he's on.
Yeah.
So I threw Pogba in there as well. And then on the left side of that center midfield, I put Mesut Ozil. And I think Ozil would fit really well into this team because he does really well when he has good players around him. So if you look at him on the Germany national team, he always does really well. And I just think his left foot, he can he's got the biggest eyes in the world, so he can see everything. But it's a terrible joke anyway. Sorry, but anyway, I'm gonna go down into the left center back position, and I put Virgil van Dijk there. I think he's really physically gifted and very fast and strong, and he's very good on the ball. And I think he can win any aerial duel against anyone in the Premier League or the world for that matter. So I think that was my pick for that reason. And my other center back is a not as well known choice, and that's Ben Mee from Burnley. So Burnley's, if you don't know, Burnley's sort of system for playing is keep them out of just be very defensively strong, and then something will come your way. And that's the way that Sean Dyche plays. And you can't do that unless you have really good center backs. And Ben Mee, who actually used to be at Man City when he was coming up, is at Burnley now, and he's leading the line defensively. And in the 1-1 draw that we were talking about earlier, we could not get past this guy. So that's why I picked Ben Mee there. Moving over to the right back position, I wanted a little bit of pace on that back line. Van Dijk's fast, but this guy's really fast, and that's Hector Bellerin. Not necessarily the best footballer per se, but he's very fast and he can put a good tackle in, and especially bombing down the flanks, supporting Mane, I think he would do a good job. And then moving over to the left back position, I had to go with Marcos Alonso. I think he's the best left back in the Premier League right now. He's scored more free kicks than a lot of other midfielders and attacking players. His left foot is absolutely sweet. I think Mendy's is better, but we haven't been able to see that because he's been hurt, sadly. But Marcos Alonso, absolutely a great player. And finally, in goal, had to go with, I hate to say this, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, David De Gea. I wanted to go with Ederson, but with De Gea still available for me to pick, I had to pick him. And I think he's just a wall in goal. There's some of the saves that this guy makes are absolutely incredible. It's no wonder Madrid's been trying to get him for a while. But so that's my team, and if we want, I can just sort of run through it again for you guys so you can hear it. So up top, I've got Harry Kane. On the left wing, I've got Leroy Sané. Right wing, Sadio Mane. In the midfield and the left side, I've got Mesut Ozil. Then I've got Fernandinho in the middle, and then Paul Pogba on the right. And then moving down to my back line, I've got Marcos Alonso on the left, Van Dijk, the left center back, Ben Mee, the right center back, Hector Bellerin, the right back, and finally David De Gea keeping it strong in goal. So that's my team, and if you wanna, you can run through your team if you want real quick.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You gotta. Whose team is really bad here? Come on. You got Mo Salah as striker. He's gonna get you the goals. Probably equivalent to how many goals Harry Kane get you, but I mean we don't know. And you got Hazard on the right wing, Sterling on the left, Lingard, De Bruyne, and David Silva holding down your midfield, and then Nacho Monreal, Otamendi, Vertonghen, Kyle Walker in that back line. I mean that's a pretty solid back line right there. And then Pope in goal. So I mean this was definitely cool to be able to lay out the players that we thought were outstanding this Premier League season, because a lot of the times the players are expected to do well don't always follow through, and there's been some good standouts like Pope that just come up and do their
Pope
thing. Yeah.
All right, but I obviously think my team's gonna win. He thinks his team's gonna win. We care about what you guys think, so please in the comments let us know which team you guys think would win if they went face to face. Also, please let us know if we left anyone out, if we left any of your favorite players out, any players that stand out. And we had a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully we want to bring more fun stuff like this to the show for you guys to enjoy also. But that's what we've got for you guys today. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, if you guys have any feedback for us, just leave it in the comments below. Other than that, if you guys could just like, subscribe, that'd be great. And we'll see you guys next time.
Never thought it would be like this. I never thought it could be like this. Remember when I used to drive the hoop, oh yeah. I'm coming in that lamb, I'm about to scoop you, oh yeah. I know the